Hello everyone, it's Terry here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am sharing a card that I created using the Picket Studios Mr. Frosty's Come to Town limited edition kit. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Mr. Frosty's Come to Town limited edition kit. So this kit includes this large stamp set. This one is called No One Else Like You stamp set, and it's a pretty good size stamp set. And this snowman here has lots of details, and I love that it comes with the coordinating dies. Along with the snowman stamp set, there's also snowflake dies, and this one here is called More Winter Snowflakes dies. And also you get this fancy Christmas tree blending stencil. And I love that there are two options here that you can use. Along with the stencil, you'll also receive 1 jar of paper glazed velvet and 1 jar of paper glitz sparkle. The colors that are included in this kit are exclusive to the kit only, so you can't purchase this outside of the kit. Okay, and you also get some snowflakes die cut as well as custom sequins. And you also get a handful of cardstock plus this court paper fabric. This court paper fabric is really nice because it's so soft and it creates a lot of texture. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so to start off my card, I am going in with white cardstock. This cardstock here is the Copic marker friendly cardstock, and I am going in with ink pad and I'm stamping the snowman down onto the cardstock. I like using this ink pad because it's Copic marker friendly and it works really well with this paper that I'm using. But I do want to recommend to heat set the ink on the cardstock just to make sure that the ink doesn't smear when you're doing any kind of Copic coloring. Okay, so I did have to go ahead and stamp that down twice just to make sure I got a good impression. And once I was finished stamping that down, I went ahead and started coloring. And like always, I will go ahead and leave a timestamp down below. So if you're interested in the coloring part, you can go ahead and sit back and enjoy. But if you're not, you can go ahead and forward it to that time down below. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Don't you tell a single soul what I'm about to say. Christmas Eve is coming soon. Now you dear old man, whisper what you'll bring to me. Tell me if you can. A storybook, she thinks dolls are folly. As for me, my little brain isn't very bright. Choose for me, old Santa Claus, what you think is right. Lean your ear this way.
Okay, so I'm back. So after I finished coloring the image, and I love this cute little snowman, it's so adorable, I went in with the coordinating dies and ran that through my die cutting machine. And of course, going in with a white gel pen, I like to add details and highlights throughout the images. Using the white gel pen gives the snowman a little more life, and I love doing that to all of the critters or images that I color in. Okay, so now let's talk about the background scene. So I'm going in with another piece of white cardstock, and whenever I'm doing any kind of ink blending, I like using my Make Art magnetic station because it helps hold my cardstock or stencil or any kind of ink blending that I'm using. It holds it very well onto the magnetic station. Okay, so to start off my background scene, I am going in with Vintage Photo from Distress Oxide, and I'm working that around my white cardstock using my Picket Studios life-changing blender brushes. So for this card, I wanted to go for a vintage vibe. So now going in with the stencil in the kit, I am going to ink blend this on as well. I'm going to ink blend it randomly throughout the card panel. So I'm going in with a smaller brush, and I love using this smaller brush here. This one's also from Picket Studios, and I love it because it's so small and it gets into all the intricate spaces of the stencil. So going in with a white pigment ink, I stamp that onto my Make Art station. And I like stamping this onto the Make Art station instead of using my brush and inserting it into the ink pad because I don't want to contaminate the ink pad. So by doing this, I'm picking up the ink from the station and I'm placing that over the card panel, which already has the blue Distress Oxide ink on it. And of course, there's going to be some sort of ink transfer. So by doing it this way, I won't transfer the brown ink onto my actual ink pad. So now that I went in with the white ink for the snowflakes, I am going to go back in with the Christmas trees. And for the Christmas trees, I'm going in with the same color brown that I used earlier, and I'm blending that on sporadically throughout the card panel. Okay, and to top off the background, I went in with white paint and splattered that onto the card panel. So for the sentiment, I wanted to heat emboss it onto black cardstock. So here I'm going in with black cardstock and I'm using my anti-static powder tool. This one here is from the Rabbit Hole and I really like using this one. Although the powder gets everywhere, I just kind of use an old makeup brush that I have laying around and brush off the excess powder. So what this powder does is it prevents the embossing powder from sticking to areas that you don't want it to. So now going in with a white pigment ink, I stamped the sentiment down onto the white cardstock. I did this twice just to make sure I got a clear impression. And then going in with white embossing powder, I sprinkle that on top of the sentiment. And using a very nice hot heat tool, I heat set that. I love Picket Studios because a lot of their sentiments has the coordinating sentiments dies. And I love it because it pretty much cuts around the edges. So here I'm going in with the coordinating dies and I'm running that through my die cutting machine. I also went ahead and die cut that twice out of black cardstock. Then going in with liquid adhesive, I adhered all of the layers together. I like doing this because it creates dimension onto my card panel without using sticky foam tape. Okay, so now to assemble the card together. So included in the card kit is this beautiful glitter paper. Well, it's not really glitter, it's more like a shimmer black paper. So I went ahead and trimmed that down slightly larger than my card panel. If I didn't mention earlier, my card panel is trimmed down slightly smaller than a 5x7 card. And now I adhere that to a gray side folding card base. And going in with foam squares and liquid adhesive, I adhere the sentiment and the snowman on top of that. Okay, and that pretty much completes the card. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and please don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to visit me on my Instagram account at Cloudy Coral Design because I will be sharing a few more cards over there on my account. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.